my favorite character, Tengen Uzui, during season 2, the entertainment district. He was like, I need people to come with me and basically, you know, help me find my wives. They're gone. I care for these girls. You need to, help me out real quick. You know, since you don't want me to take these females who are actually females, you're gonna now have to dress down as females and enter these, um, you know, the red light district as, geishas, you know, oirons, and these girls that do favors and shit, right? And he was like, take them, and Zenitsu was like one of the ones that was, he was the one that got, taken last, and he was like, just take her, and but they were able to figure out where his wives were, and he actually fought against Doc. He cut her head off easy, and he was like, that was too easy. You can't be Upper Moon 6. Upper Moon 6 would be a harder fight than that, and he was actually right because Gyutaro came out. Gyutaro was his actual opponent. Now, the thing about Upper Moon 6 was they had to cut off their heads simultaneously both times, and he was lucky that he had two people there with him. He ended up getting poisoned by Rui and losing an arm as well during that battle, but it was a great fought battle, and Tengen was, holding down pretty well. He wanted to, save his wives and, protect them too, because he actually wanted them to leave after, things kind of went south. He was like, you know what, I'm the Hashira and I don't want to get you guys hurt. This is my problem. Those are my wives. You don't need to lose your lives over, them, when it's my issue. And they were like, no, we'll stick with you. And it was a good thing that they did because, like I said, they needed to cut off the Upper Moon 6's head simultaneously. And he ended up helping Tanjiro accomplish that goal. And then after that, he was healed by Nezuko, and he was like, you know what? Upper Moon 6 was defeated, due to, me and, these guys working together. They're pretty capable, Demon Slayers. I'm going to retire with my wives and, call it a day. We've defeated an Upper Moon 6 together. So he did do his part. But, some may be like, he could have done more. But he also had, like, one arm. So, he kind of did what he was smart about it. Strength is at 89%. Speed, 92%. He's the second fastest Hashira, by the way. And he uses sound breathing. 87 for his durability and 88 for his endurance. 86 for his intelligence and 88 for his experience. 88 or 89 for his experience, my bad. 88 for his close skills, 88 for his range skills, 87 for his recoup, and an 89 for his hacks. So overall power score is at 88.3 for Tengen Uzui. But let me know what you think in the comment section and his scorecard. How you would write it up in the comment section. But be cool, call in the corner.